actually speaking on the Blue Cow stage is because this lady has inspired me massively, probably even more than she knows, with her Blue Cow partner in crime as well. Because sometimes you will meet people and you'll have a tiny chat with them and you'll connect and go, whoa, you're Blue Cows. And really, they've inspired us to take our business, particularly on the online space, all around the world, because I know they're doing great things with theirs. So she doesn't really need an introduction. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but can we please give a massive, massive welcome to Dr. Krista Burns, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to start with a question. So who here considers themselves to be an expert? If your profession thinks of you, if they think of your profession, do they think of you as being the go-to expert, or do they think of somebody else? Let me ask it this way. Who wants to become the go-to expert in their profession? Anybody want to become the go-to expert? Now let me tell you of a moment when I was not an expert and what that looked like and felt like. See, Dr. Mark and I, when we graduated chiropractic school, we hopped on a plane and we moved over to Italy on a whim. We were full of passion. We had this dream of living the romantic Italian lifestyle. We dreamed of opening a clinic and having patients lined up at the door, ready to get adjusted. Of course, all referrals ready to commit for the rest of their lives, right? We dreamed of not having a financial worry in the world. We were in for a seriously rude awakening. Our vision of this lifestyle was not even close to our reality. To be completely honest with all of you here today, I was absolutely failing in practice. I moved to a country that didn't even recognize chiropractic as a profession. I was straight out of school. I started a business from scratch. I knew nobody, and on top of it, I didn't speak the language and had no entrepreneurial experience whatsoever. I had some major odds against me. There were some really serious moments of despair when we first started our practice. I used to cry when I would look at our finances. Dr. Mark and I, we would sit in our empty clinic together, wondering why our friends were making it and we weren't. We started fighting a lot. We started bickering over everything, every detail, but it didn't matter. We were really failing. We contemplated every day, should we just get back on a plane and go back to America where things would be easier? But our egos didn't allow us to. I refer to that first year of practice as the treadmill effect. That feeling of being on a treadmill where you're running, you're even sprinting, but you're never moving forward. See, I was willing to work hard. I was willing to turn up the velocity on the treadmill. But at the end of the day, I was standing right where I was the morning before. At the end of the month, I was right where I had started the month before. I was working hard, but never moving forward. I ask you, does this reflect upon you at all? Have you ever been on the treadmill? Maybe you're trying to grow your practice or grow your business, so you've gotten the best new flyers, or you recorded some YouTube videos, but nobody's watching them. Or maybe you took out an ad and nobody called, nobody came in. This is the treadmill effect. I know I've been there, and it was tough. See, what's interesting about the heroic journey, all literary classics, there's one heroic journey that we all take, okay? Now, at this point in my life, when I was on that treadmill, I was in the part of the heroic journey where the hero steps into an unknown world, and they haven't figured out this unknown world yet. With a show of hands to my entrepreneurs in the room, is it a new world when you open your first business? Are there some unfamiliarities that you need to get comfortable with in order to succeed? Now, the interesting part of the heroic journey is you step into this threshold called entrepreneurship. And every single hero goes through setbacks And then they have ordeals. And if that's not bad enough, there's that final test that nearly kills the hero. That's where Dr. Mark and I were at. We were at that final test moment. Our business was either going to be shut down or we had to make it work. It was that final test of, is our business going to survive or not? I can tell you the exact moment when our lives changed. We were in Sardinia, in our beautiful apartment in Sardinia, the Mediterranean island. And we were reflecting upon our business of how we could go back and make it better. We read the book, Good to Great. Show of hands, Good to Great by Jim Collins. Has anybody read it? That's a must read. Add that to your list. In this book, Good to Great, Jim Collins talks about the difference between good companies and great companies. The difference between the companies that are barely making it and the ones that leave a legacy. Those are the great companies. And all of the great companies have one thing in common: the unique expert position. I'll say it again, unique expert position. The unique expert position is the one thing that all of the great companies do better than every other company in the world. One thing that they're the best in the world at, and they own that unique expert position. Now this was a gut check moment. I'm gonna get really serious with you guys. So we're sitting on the couch in Sardinia and we're like, whoa, we're not experts. In fact, we're really generalists. The reason our practice wasn't growing was because we were not providing expert level care. When you're struggling in business, it's so much easier to point fingers at other people. Well, the staff doesn't listen, the patients don't get it. You know, we were blaming other people. But in reality, we were mediocre. We had no clear product. We were not providing expert level care. We were trying to help every single person with every single problem, every single day of the week with the exact same treatment. We needed to become experts. And when we did, when we defined our unique expert position, we were off the treadmill and on the road to success. Now, what does it mean to have a unique expert position? It means that you are so solid and clear on what you do, and you raise yourself to expert level and become the best in the world at your one thing. You don't need to be the best in the world at everything, just your unique expert position. Now the heroic journey continues. See, the hero, they go into this new world, then they have their setbacks and their ups and downs, and they almost get killed. Then they finally get a little bit of success, and it feels good. But the heroic journey does not end there, because every hero, they take what they've learned and they go back to their people and they share that elixir. They share that formula so that their people can have more success as well, which is exactly why I'm here today, to share with each and every one of you how you can determine your unique expert position. And then we're going to take it one step further and teach you how you can become the go-to expert in your profession. If you have one heroic realization this weekend, I want it to be that you need to define your unique expert position. Make that realization, as Harry says, put a box around it, right? This is the important stuff. Again, that unique expert position is that one clear concept that makes you different and sets you apart from the other people in your profession. It makes you unique. Now, how does this unique expert position come to be? Your unique expert position arises where the three circles of success collide. These three circles include passion, talent, and profit. Where those come together, your unique expert position arises. Now, why is it so important to determine your UEP? I'm going to say UEP, it's synonymous with unique expert position. Because if you don't, you'll never make it to great. You'll always be an okay company, but you'll never be a great company. That legacy that you dreamt of living will easily pass you by. You may have missed your opportunity. And when you define your UEP, you become really referable. Who wants to be a little bit more referable in their business? I'm going to talk really directly to the chiros in the room right now. A lot of our patients love us and they love what we do, but they struggle to refer to us because they can't exactly communicate what we do. When you have a very clear, unique expert position and you communicate that and you live that, people know exactly what to expect of you. Our patients know to tell their friends and family to go see Dr. Mark and Dr. Krista, and they will absolutely have postural correction results every single time. It makes it very easy for them to send their people to us. If you have an unclear message, they don't know who to send and they don't know when to send them. Does that make sense? So by getting really clear on that, you're going to become really referable, and it's going to be good, safe referrals to grow your business and grow your practice. Okay guys, at this point, what I want you to do is take out a sheet of paper. I'm going to ask you to participate with me. We're going to go through this right now so you guys can determine your UEP. Now, at this point, people tend to hesitate, right? A lot of people think, oh, I've already been through this before, I already know my profession, I've found my calling. And that's a good thing, that's a good start in the right direction. But our experience tells us with students from around the world that people identify themselves with their profession, not their unique talents. They identify themselves with their job title, not their unique expertise. So let's work through this. The first circle, what are you passionate about? And when I say passionate, I mean what wakes you up in the morning? What gets you so excited? What's your why? What could you do for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you don't even realize you worked so much because you love it? Experts focus on finding the passion within them. It doesn't mean I'm trying to find exterior passion. I'm finding within me what drives my passion so that I can bring that and serve at a high level in my business and my practice. And if you're struggling to find that one passion, begin with the end in mind. Reflect back on your life. If you look back on your life, what was the legacy that you left and what did you do every day to leave that legacy? What was your ideal scene? When you do that, you'll find your passion. And then we're going to go to the second circle. I want you guys to think about what drives the economic engine in your offices, in your business. I'm not just talking about making money. Yes, money is part of it, but what really drives your ability to make recurrent incomes on a very predictable basis? So all experts very clearly understand their profit per X. Now, profit per X is the denominator that always brings in a good return on investment, okay? So instead of thinking about money here, what I want you to do is be obsessed with providing value, okay? Don't think how you can gain more profit, think how you can provide more value. Because when you do, you no longer become a slave to how many clients come in your door or how many patients come in when you do an advertisement. You can take your current patients and add more value. As an example, at the American Posture Institute, our patients come in for corrective care in the office. But in addition to that, they're purchasing posture kits and at-home posture programs. Why is this ethical and a good idea? Because it helps them get better faster. And I can focus on adding more value to each one of those patients instead of being obsessed with the amount of patients coming in the door. So it's quality versus quantity. It's value. I want you guys to get really clear on what drives your economic engine in your office, because this bit of information is absolutely critical for the longevity of your business. So at this point, we had 2 of the 3 circles, which was passion and profit. Just write down the first things that are coming to you guys as we're going through this, okay? So passion and profit. And now as we move to the 3rd circle, I'm going to ask you guys to leave your ego outside of the door. I want you to answer this question with utmost honesty to yourself. Because when you're honest, you're going to find your UEP. Answer this question. What can you be the best in the world at? And I mean the best in the world. What unique talents do you possess as an individual that you bring to this world that nobody else can do just like you do? What can you be the best in the world at? Now I want to explain this just a little bit further because a lot of us want to be the best in the world at certain things, but it doesn't mean that we necessarily can or should focus our attention in that direction. For example, I would love to be the best supermodel in the world, but at 5'2", that's not a realistic goal for me, right? I realistically can't achieve that. I may want it, but can I achieve it? What can you achieve and be the best in the world at? Another example, I'm a chiropractor by profession. Now, I realized once I started thinking about it that I didn't think I really could be the best chiropractor in the world. I have serious competition. Look at this room alone, right? It wasn't about becoming the best chiropractor in the world. It was about utilizing my skills with chiropractic to find my niche that I could own and dominate, which is postural correction for me. And you guys should find that as well for you. And if you're having a problem deciding and deciphering what you can become the best in the world at, because that's not an easy question to answer, right? We got to get really serious and leave our egos out the door. Maybe start by wondering what you maybe cannot be the best in the world at, which is what I did with first the supermodel and then the chiropractor, right? So take those off the list and then get really personal and decide where your unique talents can bring you. Now think about that. I want you guys to imagine how great the world would be if you had a career that you were passionate about, that was really profitable, and that you were the best in the world at. You were the go-to expert among your entire profession. How's that sound? Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah.
So again, you need all three of those circles, and that's where your UEP will be born. You have to have all three or the equation doesn't work out. If you have profit and you have talent, but you lack the passion, you're on the road to burnout. If you have passion and talent, but no economic engine driving that, you found yourself a good hobby, but not a business. Does that make sense? And if you have passion and you have profit, but realistically you don't have the talent, then you're only going to ever get mediocre results. You're not going to be the best. So you need to have all three circles together. And if you do not define your unique expert position, you guys are going to be like 90% of the population that identifies themselves with their profession, not their unique talents and exponential expertise. And I know you blue cows are better than that. Don't identify with your job title, identify with your expertise. Okay, so at this point, you guys have the materials you need to go home and reflect upon this UEP business. I want you guys to answer those questions. Now in the meantime, if you guys are cool with it, I'm gonna give you the 3 steps of becoming the go-to expert in your profession. Who's ready to become a go-to expert? I got 3 steps for you. The first step is to niche down. So after identifying your uniqueness and your expert position, you want to find a specific niche that you market to. You don't want to market to everybody. You want to be an expert to one group of people. Now, why is that? Because it seems like if we eliminate from here and go to here, that we'd have less patients or less clients. It's actually quite the opposite. Because when you understand your niche, you understand exactly their pain points. You understand their problems. You can speak their language. And when you understand their pain points, you can then present a solution that perfectly matches what they want. You are the expert in their eyes. Now this is going to get a bit uncomfortable, I'm going to be honest with you. Because what I want you to do is I want you to niche down again, and then niche down till it hurts. You're not the expert of everybody, you're the expert of a very specific target group of people. And when you narrow your niche, you expand your opportunities. Think of finding a market that's 1 inch wide but a mile deep. Because when you're so set on your unique expert position, then suddenly you're chosen first. Opportunities are going to come from all directions because you've been brave enough to be specific. And step number 2 of becoming an expert is suiting up. So we know what our unique expert position is. We know who we're delivering our unique expert position to. Now let's raise our knowledge to expert level. Take some notes here, guys. This is exactly what you need to do to be recognized as an expert. You're going to read the top 5 books in your niche. Why 5? Because remember, almost everybody out there is a generalist. Generalists read a lot of books in a lot of different areas. If you read the top 5, you're going to be one of the most educated. And then you're going to go online and you're going to search the most current topics. And then you're going to perform 5 expert interviews. Find the best people that are doing what you want to do. Find the top 5 in your niche and get a hold of them and rub shoulders with them and make connections. So if I want to become the best public speaker in the world, you better bet I'm going to be trying to get an interview with Harry Singa, or Jermaine, or Fab Mancini, or Dr. DeMartini, right? Learn from their experience and help them raise your current knowledge to expert level and create those connections. All right, guys, we got one more step to becoming an expert, and that's to etch your spot. Quick show of hands, who here has invested time or money in learning social media strategies to etch your spot? Okay, I'm seeing a few hands, definitely not everybody. Now, if you want to etch your spot as an expert, our ability to demonstrate our expertise to our niche market through social media is the best opportunity to do so. And if you haven't had that proper training, go see Baju back there. He has great tips for you. He'll make you into a genius. But I ask you, do you even know what you look like online? Before any client or any patient comes in your door, what are they going to do first? They're going to Google you. And then they're going to go from Google to your social media channels. What do you look like on Facebook? What do you look like on LinkedIn? Do you have a professional website? Do you even come up on Google? So if someone were to type in my unique expert position of posture correction, do I come up? Because if I don't, they don't know to come find me, right? So learn how to etch your spot and develop your position via social media. It's going to transform your business. Now I want you to think of a mindset monopoly. How do you really know if you have etched your spot? Right here, the mindset monopoly. And what exactly does that mean? It's exactly as it sounds. It means that you have created a monopoly in the brains and in the minds of your target market. Let me give you a perfect example of a mindset monopoly. Blue cow. Am I the only one that every time I see a blue cow, I take a picture and I send it to Joe and Steve? Because I'm like, blue cow! They own blue cow. We've even taken a picture one time in Austria, we were on vacation, of a cow that wasn't blue. We still sent it to them and said, this should be a blue cow, right? Because they have created this mindset monopoly over the space blue cow. It's a brilliant example. Whatever your blue cow is, does your profession and your target market think of you like we all think of Joe and Steve? Now I want you guys to take a look at this quote here by Mark Cuban. He says, it doesn't matter how many times you fail. You only need to be right one time. Even if you're on the treadmill right now as we're talking today, it does not matter. You only need to be right on one thing. And that one thing is your unique expert position. And Tony Robbins tells us, it's not about the goal, it's about becoming the person who can achieve that goal. It's about becoming the expert. To all of our blue cows here today, I invite you to open your hearts and open your minds, because this weekend is going to be a lot of fun. And if you guys are interested in really learning your unique expert position, I got a little something special for you. We've created a whole workshop for our personal coaching clients that we never give out to other audiences. But because we love Blue Cow and we love Crack It and we love you guys, we really want you to have this workshop. So Dr. Mark put it together. It's step by step. There's no way that you can go through this and not have your UEP at the end. It's absolutely free. So you guys can get that by going to this link right here, certifiedpostureexpert.com @UEP. Feel free to take a picture because for absolutely free, you guys are going to transform your businesses. At the American Posture Institute, we always say, your success is our priority. Blue Cows, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, experts are always chosen first. Thank you.
Let's hear it from Dr. Krista Burks.
Ooh, better leave this here. Thanks, Terry.
Okay, wow. Who's having fun? Yeah. Who's learning something?
1 second.
Who's learning and using it? Yeah. Right, that's what we're going to do. You know what's happening? 60 seconds. 60 seconds, write down one thing that you're going to commit to. If any of you are thinking, oh my gosh, I've written down so many already, good. All right, go ahead. And notice, any person that's spoken so far is a doctor.